Hello everyone, this is Winged Supernova here, and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. In the last episode, well, we met Gina here. Gina Lestrade, as it happens. I like her design. She's a very interesting pickpocket thief type looking character. But we do know quite a few new things. We know that likely when she triggered her smoke grenade earlier, she tampered with the crime scene. She added an extra blood stain on the floor, and on top of that, she removed a bunch of stuff from the compartment in the omnibus. But we're trying to figure out what she could possibly be lying about in here. I personally didn't see anything, but I'm gonna try and wake up, try and shake my head a ways, and see what's going on. So she says she snuck into the carriage before everyone else was in there. She had nothing to show. She got nothing to show for her troubles. You can't see a thing in the hiding place. It's pitch dark in there. She heard a loud bang. This is rough. Okay, so what do we have here? We don't have much. We only have 6 pieces of evidence. Oh, I can actually examine this. An ornate letter M. Undeniably Mr. Magnus McGilda's initial. And it's beautifully gilded, too. It must be very valuable, I should think. Ah! What is it? Look at this M. If you turn it upside down, it becomes a W. This could change everything. A W? Yes, this is one of those, you know, turnabout cases. I'm sure of it. I'm afraid I don't know at all. But what I am sure of is that this is an M. Oh. Well, that idea was quickly quashed. That part is the sheath, isn't it? Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Huh? Oh, sorry, yes, I just don't really like blades. Oh. Those don't seem like the words of a man with a large katana slung from his waist. That's not a blade, that's Kazuma's soul. Anyway, there's no sense in delaying it. Let's see what the blade looks like. Looks like a lot of blood. That looks a lot like blood. It surely is blood. The victims. An Englishman's blood looks a lot like a Japanese man's blood. Really? Did you think it wouldn't? Sorry, it's just that we've only just arrived here in Great Britain. I'm finding it a little hard to adjust. Yes, I do understand. That's it? That's all we get? Alright. I guess that's it when it comes to examining the blade. Well, it does say that this quality and fancy ornamentation suggests it might be quite valuable. If she wanted to, she could have taken the knife itself. It's pretty valuable. She did say that she was in the... Man, I don't know. I can examine these. This is definitely blood, isn't it? Not the most pleasant sight to be confronted with on our first day in London. Well, nothing will come of grumbling now. No. By the way, is Mr. McGilded right-handed? Yes, I believe so. He was toying with a coin in his right hand a little earlier. Ah, pity. If only he'd been left-handed. I think blood on either glove would be fairly incriminating, really. Man, this is difficult. I'm gonna go ahead and save real quick. I am not sure. Snuck into the carriage before. I don't see what the problem with that would be. I got nothing to show for my troubles that night. Can't see a thing in the hiding place. It's pitch dark in there. I feel like this is just out of place. Can I prove that there's like a hole or something in there? I shouldn't have to read that every time I open the door. I guess I'll click on this blood. That's blood that's soaked into the seat, the victim's obviously. Yes, and that seat would be clearly visible from the roof deck. Would you really stab somebody in full view of the other passengers like that, I wonder? Well, it was after dark, and there was a lamp on in here, so perhaps the culprit couldn't see anything outside through the skylight. Whichever way you look at it, it doesn't seem like it was a planned attack. Confusing to me. I just don't get it. Well, actually. Yeah, I can't see any holes or anything. Also, yes, the omnibus says Phoenix Wright Omnibus. I forgot to point that out. I found that when I was playing through the beginning part of this for the first time. But yeah. That's pretty funny, to be honest. You can't see a blind thing in a hiding place. It's pitch dark in there. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've pressed everything. Present profiles? I can't. This is the only thing I can think of, and I don't think it's right, but... Objection! Yeah, it's not right. Nope. Not even gonna read that. I don't know, man. It doesn't make sense to me. I feel like I'm gonna have to end up cutting out a bunch of this. Snuck into the carriage before they hooked up the horses. Hold it! I mean, I've already gone through this stuff, right? I feel like it would... don't know. I think I'm gonna have to look up a walkthrough for this one. I'm sorry, guys. It says press each testimony. I feel like
Hold it!
Really? I pressed this already. Why did it not pop up before? Alright, well, that's weird. I just wasted about at least 5 minutes trying to figure out what the hell to do here. And, well, it looks like we have something to pursue. It says, I ain't too happy in small dark places, feels too much like being thrown in the clink. And, well,
excuse me!
He reacted to that. Is something wrong, Mr. McGilded? Oh, I do apologize. Was there something the matter, Counsel? I'm just wondering if Miss Lestrade's last comment made something occur to you, perhaps? You seem to be thinking something to yourself. Oh, no. 'Twas nothing important. I was feeling bad for the poor lass is all. I remember feeling desperate myself as a young lad, shut up in the dark. 'Twas terrifying, so it was. I see. Yes, I'm sure we can all sympathize. I'm still scared of the dark now. Aye, and I don't know about yourself, but I find that darkness seems to make everything you hear seem that much louder as well. Yeah. I suppose it does, maybe. Miss Lestrade, did you hear something that night? Anything? An unusual noise, perhaps? Nah, not really. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. Be japers, there's no need to tell the whole world of me foibles, you little scamp. What a pity. If only Miss Lestrade had heard something, it might have given us a vital new clue. Yes. What should we make of that last statement of hers? Why not? My lord, I believe the statement just made by the witness is profoundly important. Profoundly important? But all she said was that she heard nothing. Yes, which is the profoundly important point. I'm almost sure of it. I'm almost sure that I don't understand the inner workings of your Eastern Mind Council. Nevertheless, Miss Gina Lestrade, you will supplement your formal testimony by repeating that last statement, please. What? Supplement? What are you on about? Don't give me all your fancy talk. I know what you're trying to do, but it won't work on me. That's right, insult the judge. Always good. Always a good move. All you heard was snoring. Just press it? Because I can't think of anything. So you were straining to hear what was happening the entire time, since the moment you hid yourself? Not exactly, no. Sorry? Well, there was no one in the cabin to start with. Well, I could just push the cushion up and have a butcher's to see what was what. But then, when I saw this swell getting on, it got me head down, so he didn't notice me. And Mr. McGilded sat on the seat under which you were hiding, correct? Yeah! Would you Adam and Eve it, eh? What a mug! So then all I could do was listen. I was waiting to jump out of there as soon as I heard him leave, see? But would he? Not likely. Even though we stopped here and there, I never heard the door open. So I just had to stay put and listen to him driving his pigs to market, snoring like an old dog he was. Are there any conclusions we can draw from that, I wonder? I guess it doesn't add up, because I can't think of anything else. Miss Lestrade, what you have just told the court is clearly at odds with the facts. Ah! At odds? Are you sure, man? Absolutely. It seems my learned Nipponese friend is not as dull-witted as I feared. So Van Zieks realized it too. I personally don't get it. Counsel, I must insist that you bolster your claim with evidence, or some complicit party's name at the very least. Yes, my lord. I expect you to demonstrate this alleged contradiction to the court. According to Miss Lestrade, whilst she was hiding in the omnibus that night, she heard nothing but the sound of Mr. McGilded's snoring. But think, Renosuke, think. There's something else she should have heard. What do we have? Oh, I'm trying to remember. I have to remember testimony that we don't have anymore if it's a person. It's difficult. Difficult. I don't think it's anything on here. Hey, I'm back. I had to take a phone call. So, I've had a little bit of time to think about this, and the only thing I can think of is a person. Very well, my lord. Allow me to elaborate on a particular sound that Miss Lestrade could not have failed to hear on the night in question. The sound fairly clearly explained by the presence of the following person. I think it would have been the victim. I mean, why, but makes me think it was the victim. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm gonna save, of course. Again. But
Take that!
thrice fired Mason? I was right. Okay. Yes, my lord. The sound that Miss Lestrade cannot have failed to hear is that of the victim, Mr. Mason, boarding the omnibus. Really? That's what it was? I thought it was something that he said or something from one of the other testimonies for some reason. Order, order! Explain your reasoning, counsel! Miss Lestrade, allow me to confirm something. You claimed earlier that you were the first person on board the omnibus. Is that correct? Yeah, of course I was. I got on while the driver was in the pub, didn't I? And the next person aboard the omnibus was Mr. McGilded? That it was. Not a soul was in the cabin when I climbed aboard. At least, not in plain sight. So you were, to all intents and purposes, alone in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus at that time. Did I not just say as much? I wasn't traveling with anyone else, if that's what you mean. Yeah, I saw him get on, remember? Through the crack under the seat cushion. He was on his own for sure. And from what we've heard, the carriage made a number of stops after that on its onward journey. During which time did you not hear the door opening or closing at all? Nah, I never heard it. That's exactly what I was listening for, weren't I? Waiting for the swell to leave. Oh, I get it. That's a bit of a logical stretch. You just kind of have to think about the way that other people would act, I guess. In which case, when and how did the victim end up in the carriage? Ah! We know that the victim collapsed inside the enclosed cabin of the omnibus. Therefore, Miss Lestrade's statement about what she did or did not hear is at odds with the facts. Ah! Yes, this petty thief's statement was clearly flawed. Lord Van Zeeks? Yes, he knew. He knew all too well that there was an inconsistency in Miss Lestrade's statement. It would seem words of thanks are in order for my learned friend. What are you talking about? You have demonstrated matters impeccably. This witness and her colorful statements are entirely unreliable. Her words are convenient untruths, nothing more. He's dead right. How could the victim possibly not have boarded the omnibus? It makes no sense whatsoever. And this garrulous pickpocket. Let's not forget that. Oh wow. Shifting to guilty, are we? Ah! She didn't even say anything. I didn't want to judge the dear little mite just because she has some rather naughty ways. But I must say, I can't abide liars. And neither can I. Mr. Foreman, I didn't want to judge the girl just because she has some less than salubrious ways. But I must say, I cannot abide liars. Well, you're not really thinking about this. A different girl is lying, so you think the defendant is guilty. By all means, have the last one. Ah! Mr. Naruhodo, that's 5 jury members leaning towards guilty. Well, your consideration for others is refreshing, my Nipponese friend. To the considerable troubles you have spared me. Yes, very refreshing. I'm not screaming. My voice is dead. Ah! What are you playing at? Have ye forgotten who you're working for, you useless Eastern Amadon? This is carnage. It's perfect. Juror number 2 is the only one left. Mr. Naruhodo, the way this is going... I know, if we can't find some new way to convince everyone of Mr. McGilded's innocence, the judge will rule and we'll have lost. I very much wanted to believe the words of one of London's most respected gentlemen, but those of us in service know we must accept hard truths.
Hold it!
Yes, the witness's last statement seems to have revealed a critical inconsistency in her story. However, if we consider the possibility that her statement is in fact the truth, it may shed an entirely new light on this whole case. What are you saying? Counsel? I'm sorry, sir? Whatever do you mean? Counsel, I will not have you I will not tolerate you attempting to prorogue my adjudication. Explain yourself at once. When the accused boarded the omnibus on the night in question, the victim was nowhere to be seen. Subsequently, the carriage door was not heard opening a single time, as testified by the witness in the stand. And yet the victim's body was found inside the carriage. If this petty thief's words are to be believed, how do you explain the victim's miraculous appearance inside the cabin of the omnibus? There's only one way to explain how the victim came to be inside the carriage. Well, yeah, this is now I'm on the same page. He would have had to have been put there after he died, and that makes sense because it feels like they added the blood stain in the cart to show that he died there, but there wasn't enough blood from a stab wound just right there on the seat cushion. I think he was killed outside of the cart and then put in there after he died. Someone stuffed him in the cart. Someone stuffed him into the cart after the victim was in there and asleep. Or not the victim. After our defendant, McGilded, was in there and asleep. I'm going to say he was put in there after he died. Obviously, the victim must have been placed in the carriage after he was killed.
Objection!
Tell me, my learned friend, what was the function of that obviously in your last sentence? Huh? Well said, Lord Vanzakes. The obviously is troubling me also. No. That's really not the point. The point is that the victim must have been moved into the carriage afterwards. Then answer me this. How could a cadaver have been placed inside a moving carriage? Well, obviously, I'll have to penalize the defense heavily for this irreverent... What? I thought it stopped at some point because... Well, how the fuck did the people end up on top then? Are you saying that they all ended up... Are you saying that they all supposedly ended up in the omnibus at the beginning of the... I guess I was mistaken as to how an omnibus works, because I thought that they made stops to... For some reason, I thought that they were making stops to get new people on the omnibus. I didn't know it was like, oh, they just pick people up all at once. That's weird to me. But, alright, I don't know. This whole thing doesn't make any fucking sense to me. The penalty is evidently not heavy enough, judging from those Nipponese eyes, so I ask you again. If this petty thief's words are to be believed, how do you explain the victim's miraculous appearance inside the cabin of the omnibus? I don't know how he could have been in there already. They would have seen him in there, and there's nowhere to hide him, so I don't think he was in there already. There had to have been another entrance then. But where? The roof, maybe? I'm gonna save again, because I have absolutely no idea. I guess. If the door wasn't opened even once, the only explanation is that the victim entered the enclosed cabin some other way.
Objection!
I wondered what new fantasy you would come up with in your blind panic. But behold, the omnibus is here for us, for all to see. Only one side of the enclosed cabin is furnished with a door, the other only has windows. Fixed windows, which cannot possibly open. In short, there is no entrance to the cabin other than the door. But there could be. There's one possibility you haven't considered. Oh, really? Yes, one other way inside that isn't the door. Another opening, the use of which allowed the victim to appear inside the closed cabin. Alright, counsel. The defense will identify the location for the court. Here is the omnibus on which the incident occurred. Where on earth is this entrance by which you propose the victim entered the cabin? Well, it would have to be the skylight, right?
Take that!
The answer is obvious. It can only have been the skylight. I say, the skylight?
Objection!
Your ludicrous proposal almost has me lost for words. However,
Objection!
The skylight may well be large enough for someone to pass
Objection!
through. So you claim, but do you have a shred of evidence to support your addle-brained theory? Both Mr. McGilded and Miss Lestrade said the same in their testimonies. They each claimed to have heard a loud thud, such as the noise made by someone falling to the floor. Yes, which has already been explained, as the sound of the victim falling from his seat having been assaulted with the dagger. Yes, it has, but would a man slipping from the seat onto the floor really have made such a loud noise as the witnesses described? A noise loud enough to cause Miss Lestrade to let out an involuntary cry, in fact. Good gracious! Perhaps, in fact, that was the moment that the victim made his entrance into the cabin. No, let me rephrase that. The victim didn't enter the cabin as such. He fell into it.
Objection!
You're now suggesting that the victim fell from the skylight into the cabin? That's simply impossible. How can you be so sure? Because if the victim had fallen inside through the skylight, as you say, the passengers on the roof deck would have seen it happen. And yet, not one person made mention of such events in their testimony. Well, yes, that's true, but... Might a humble fella make a wee comment here? Mr. McGilded? That's right, because he said that he found him on the ground inside, well, on the floor of the omnibus when he woke up after the loud sound. Okay, now, I don't know why the events are just muddling together inside my head, and I'm not thinking clearly this trial, but man, I'm just really off my game with this one. To be sure now, the two fellas who were sat on the roof that testified afore said nothing to the victim falling through the skylight. But it seems to me, my lord, that 'tis not so much a case of them not saying, but... Aye. 'Tis a case of them being unable to say. What? I think perhaps the two fellas do be having something of a compelling reason not to mention what happened. Would yous not agree, fine ladies and gentlemen of the jury? Oh my goodness, surely not. Those two chaps on the roof? You mean the ones who stuck the knife in the man were... Ah! Just what exactly are you insinuating here, you blitherer? What the actual hell are you doing? What the fuck? I am so confused. This is the most bizarre animation in Ace Attorney history, I swear to fucking God. What? This is like watching pure chaos. Oh my God, okay. Well, we're gonna find out whatever the hell the problem with this man is in the next episode, I think. Thank you guys very much for watching. Yeah, that's gonna be it for me. See you guys then. See you guys in the next episode when I got my head on my shoulders straight. I think this is probably gonna be the end of this recording session as well. So yeah.